welcome to So That Was a Movie. Today we're doing something a little different. We are drafting 5v5. So what that means is we're drafting 5 movie characters and we're going to put them up in a hypothetical basketball game. And the draft order is Landon with the first pick, me with the second pick, and then Mitchell with the third pick. And then we're going to go back to Landon. We're not snaking.
5v5. You got 5 players, he's got 5 players, he's got 5 players. They're on a basketball court and they're trying to win a game. I wanted to set the tone for my team. This is the anchor for my team. So with number 1 pick, I selected Jaws, the shark, from the movie Jaws. Now, the reason for this selection is because he's a shark, and a big one. Great white sharks are known for their dangerousness and their giant teeth. So this thing is pissed. If you see the movie, you notice that he tries to kill other people. They will have other people, therefore my player will try to kill them. The paint will not be open. It will be a closed paint. He is going to lock down the entire area inside the 3-point line because he's a shark. I had to get on the offensive side of the ball, he's a black hole. You throw it in there, it doesn't come back out because it's going in the hole. Nobody can guard a great white shark the size of Jaws. Ask the people in the movie. They died. How do I follow up?
It's so funny. A strong opening pick in the inaugural 5v5 draft. For my first pick, I'm going with Uncle Machete from the Spy Kids series, also with his own series of movies, Machete. Okay. I just think he's going to get in there, do what he needs to do. He can take care of the rest of the team. You know, he supports the kids kind of thing. Just a badass, and he'll get in there, do the grinding, glue work.
He's a great glue man. He also got a machete.
That's ultimately who I'm going with, getting a Dennis Rodman-like type on my team.
Dangerous player.
With my first pick, I wanted to find someone who has experience as an athlete. Someone to lead the team with their athletic abilities. And so for me, the obvious person for that is Gordon from Dodgeball. You look at him and you see the glasses and you see his beer belly and you think, hey, he's not the best basketball player.
Not enough drive.
But when I look at him, I see a strong 4 who has a mean hook.
And a mean streak.
A mean hook. He probably shoots free throws underhanded.
Yeah, don't put him at the line.
No.
But if you get him angry, you could see a different kind of player.
It's like real Kurt Rambis kind of guy.
Real Kurt Rambis.
That's actually a pretty good comparison.
Bryce was waiting the entire time I was talking to say that.
Yes.
No.
With my second pick of the draft, I will be selecting Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, whenever you compare Jaws and Fregley, 2 different players, but that's what I'm looking for. I need a kid who's not going to be useful at all. This guy is up there to take up floor space, to create spacing for the rest of the players on the floor. Fregley will not touch the ball, he will not dribble the ball, he will not shoot the ball, because if you know Fregley, he sucks at everything that is good in life. I mean, this kid sucks. He's got the cheese touch, no one wants him around. He's going to give the other players so much more room to operate that I had to pick Fregley here to let Jaws do his thing.
I'm going to be honest, that's a little high, pick Fregley.
I think
that's a little early in the draft.
I thought you guys may end up taking him.
I'm going to be honest, he was not on my list at all. My scouting team just reported back to me last week and said he fucking sucks ass and has no business playing basketball at all.
I know that he's terrible, but he's going to create opportunities for everybody else. There's only one ball.
Right.
There's 5 players. One ball. I needed that glue guy, and by glue I mean terrible basketball player.
But I feel like if you're going to draft somebody who sucks, you might as well draft somebody who's at least fun to be around, which Fregley is not. Fregley is a nuisance, and I feel like Jaws might quit the team.
Jaws is an animal. He will not be doing that.
My next pick, I'm going with a dominant beast. He's a wild man. We already got a guy who's going to mess it up with Machete, but I just feel like this dynamic duo is going to go nuts, and it's going to break records on the court. So I'm going with Chaka. Chaka from Land of the Lost.
Oh, good pick. That's a good pick.
He has no idea what is going on half the time, but that's part of his brilliance. He'll get in there, he'll drink his little alcoholic drinks and get drunk on the beach and see giant lobsters, and that'll really help with the team chemistry aspect. And plus, he's one of those guys where if he's on the other team, you hate him. You think he's a little asshole. But when he's on your team, you love the guy. He brings everything to the team, and that's what I think Chaka's going to do for us.
Pesky 2 combo guard almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's kind of a slashier forward kind of guy.
He's not pretty. There's nothing pretty about him.
No, he's fucking ugly.
I want to keep drafting athletes, right? I'm really trying to build my team with an athletic base. And you might say, hey, Gordon's not athletic at all. In fact, he probably was the least athletic person in that movie. And while that might be true, my next pick is going to compliment him. So that's why from the movie Nacho Libre, I'm drafting Nacho Libre. My idea for him is a small ball 5. I think he can get in. Again, sort of like Gordon, can throw his weight around a little bit. Very physical player.
Yeah.
Very physical player.
He's not afraid of those bodies.
No, he's not.
No.
No, he's not. Again, like Chaka, prone to pick up some fouls
Yeah.
because his background in wrestling obviously doesn't mesh well with basketball. But I still think I need someone to bang with Jaws, and I think who's better?
I'm as big a fan as Nacho as they come,
Yeah.
but if he's in the paint with Jaws,
He might get eaten.
Jaws has 5 fouls, I'll tell him to use them. Okay, so there's no holding back with Jaws. I've got Fregley in the backcourt, Jaws in the front court. So to kind of go with both of them, I got a strong 2 guard here in Koba from Planet of the Apes. Now, I had thought about picking Caesar here because Caesar's the smarter player. I don't need smart on this team. I have a generational talent in Jaws and Fregley. So what I needed here was just a dog, an absolute dog at the 2 guard, and Koba brings me that. He says Apes are not strong together. He's strong because Koba is strong because he's going out there every day looking for blood. So when I got Koba back there, I know I got a Kobe Bryant type of player who has a killer mentality and will not negotiate with any sort of bullshit going on the court. He's one of the 2 guards that can post up because he's not taking shit from nobody. He's a big 2,
Right. Yeah.
and I trust him running my team. He can run the point if I want him to.
With my next pick, I'm getting really serious. Today's game of basketball has changed dramatically. But what we really need on this team is a shooter. So I'm going to take Jason Bourne. One of the best shooters in the game.
Yeah.
He'll get out there. He'll just pull up from anywhere. He'll snipe you. And he's got a deep range. You can shoot from full court. And he just gets in there. He finds out what the other team's weaknesses. He finds out his own strengths and weaknesses. He knows all the things that he needs to know. He just keeps watching. He watches film constantly. And he needs to know what needs to be done on the court at all times. And he will do it. He will put it to the test and will ultimately come out on top every time. And his running stamina is unmatched. He
99.
will never grow tired,
99.
and he will always be watching his back. If Jaws is coming at him, he'll just go the other way, spin move to the basket, and lay that shit in. He's
Right.
the ultimate team player. He's a star player, best player drafted so far, and I got him in the 3rd round.
Have you seen the Jaws movie?
Jason Bourne has a fucking gun.
From the Billy and Mandy movie, I'm drafting Fred Fredberger.
Oh,
I think
that's a good one.
Fred Fredberger in my mind is a great wing.
Yeah.
Another physical player. I'm drafting a lot of physical, strong guys.
He's got horns.
He's got horns.
Yeah.
He's got horns. I think he's going to use those when he's slashing, cutting through everyone. Post up Nacho, have Fred Fredberger coming in back door, boom, hit him, down,
Yep.
over.
And he'll bring his own jersey. He can spell his name.
He loves nachos. So he's going to have great team chemistry with Nacho Libre and Gordon.
Oh,
I'm sure Gordon loves a nice frozen yogurt, so
Right.
the team meetings will be really good. And
Nacho
filled with
Libre.
snacks.
He's someone you can get behind. I mean, just his voice. I'm thinking the
Yeah.
locker room speeches.
Yeah.
You know, his
Vocal leader.
Right, vocal leader on the court.
Yeah, he can make furniture.
He's got it all.
Except for a strong body.
Except
I mean,
for-
he is
yeah.
a blob of green.
He's Fred Fredberger.
It's Fred Burger.
Fred Fredberger.
Because I got a bunch of strong guys. I want a flyer. I want somebody that can shoot down the court and is a real attacker with the basketball and can shoot from distance. So what I was going to go with here was I'm going to go with Little Toaster. Now, Little Toaster is not your biggest. He's not going to be banging in with the big bodies. He's not a Koba type of guard. But he can shoot off any time. He's a microwave oven, but actually a toaster because he's a small toaster. Now, you're not going to bake big things with him. You're not going to put large loaves of bread. But a small bagel, you could toast in him. And once he gets toasting, he can go pretty quickly. You set the timer to 10, you pop it, he shoots from deep, he can pull up. He's electrical. He's a toaster. So I think he'll provide that spark to go with my power players. Little Toaster, you can't get his spirits down. You can't tell him anything. He's got the heart of a lion with the body of a toaster.
He may be little, but
He's
that little guy's brave.
Yeah.
He's just a brave little toaster, if
Yeah.
I've ever seen one. My next pick in the draft, I'm getting somebody who's going to come out. He's not going to think he's all world. He's going to be a team player. But once he gets in there, he's going to realize what a talent he is. And he's just going to improve by being around these guys. And now I'm going with, from School of Rock, Lawrence. He's really good at the piano.
Yes.
Like, he will be rocking in your soul, and that's just going to jive on the basketball court. You know, he doesn't think he's cool enough, but once he gets out on the court and just starts rocking,
He's the bee's knees, almost.
The bee's knees. And, you know, he's going to get on the hardwood floor, he's going to scuff his knees up, his bee's knees, and it's going to be something magical, and he's just going to grow and develop not only as a person, but as a ball player.
Yeah.
And that wins championships when you pair it with Jason Bourne.
To be honest, that was my next pick, so it's heartbreaking.
Tough.
This one needs some length. And I think I'm going to go for that at the 2-guard spot. And so from another obscure movie that might not even exist, I'm going with the Ed, Ed, and Ed movie, Rolf. So in my mind, Rolf is
he's lanky.
He's very lanky. I need someone that can get in the passing lanes. Very high release on a shot. Very high release on a shot. Right. Yeah. You can play him in the post. You can have him post up his guy. I wanted someone that's a little taller. I'm building a little bit of an old-fashioned team here.
Yeah. Will there be any problem with the foreign language barrier?
I wanted a foreign player to come in to bring in that European basketball style.
Yeah. Last pick in the draft, I wanted to go with kind of a do it all kind of guy. I want the paint, the bruiser, the scorer. So I went with Osmat Bagatov. He's in Borat. He's the fat guy who chases Borat naked through the hotel lobby. Now, who's the star of the movie? It's Borat. We know it's Borat, but I don't need another star. I have Jaws on my team. I need people to complement that. As my Bagatov follows him around the country and got him into different places that he could not get into, made sure he was fine, brought him food and shelter whenever he needed it. So I think Asmat Bagatov can play down low, can play outside, he can play naked, as we've seen in Borat. He's fat as shit. Asshole neighbor, but they're a good basketball player.
And I think that was a stroke of brilliance, not to pick Borat, because I really do think if Borat and Jaws were on the same team, there'd be some arguments on who was the star.
One ball.
On the team.
One ball.
The naked part is very interesting to me because I don't think anyone on my team fills that role.
Fred Berger doesn't wear it.
Okay, that's fair.
That's true. Fair. But he's also a green blob.
He's also a green blob.
Asmat Bagatov is not going to be intimidating anybody with his genitalia because his dick was small. So Jaws won't be tempted as a spare fish on the court. It's not gonna. It's small enough that it's unnoticeable, but you'll notice it. You will, and I will.
And with my last pick, we don't really have a true point guard yet. I'm going to go with Scotty Smalls from the Sandlot. One of the best passers in the game. Even before he knew how to throw a ball, he really knew how to get the guy the ball where he needed it. Right. He would run over, and he would just hand him the ball. He'd say, here, instant possession. Bourne ever needs the ball. If Jaws is smothering him, being a big shark, Smalls can just walk the ball over to him and say, here, and you'll know Jason Bourne has the ball, and that way he can pull up. He got better at being a team player and sharing the sugar around. He was one of the top guys, and he learned from one of the best athletes in the game, Benny the Jet, who went on to play professional baseball for the Yankees. Yes, and plus, if anybody is a careless ball handler on my team, doesn't know what they're really doing, he will be sure to get the ball back. He's one of the best stealers in the game. Right. If he loses the ball, or anybody he knows loses a ball ever, he gets that ball back. No matter if the ball can be torn up, all the shit, but he will get that ball back. And he will fight any dog, shark, whatever you bring at him. He will get the ball back and set up his team for more possessions. In the sequel, there's a shark scene where he steals the ball from the shark. He dives into the ocean and collects the ball and then gives it back to his dad, and his dad is pissed as shit. But he's thankful that his son survived the shark.
I think the shark thing was made up, I'm not going to lie to you. But
you didn't see the sequel, clearly.
So for my final pick, I will also be selecting a point guard. And so for me, I'm drafting. So for me, I'm drafting Mr. Mosby from the Sweet Life movie.
I was wondering how you were going to spend that.
Right. Yeah. Hotel manager, obviously that translates into a great in-game basketball manager, right? Yeah. You have to put up with the little shits, Zach and Cody, in the hotel. So I'm thinking no matter how pesky the defense is, he's going to be able to deal with them.
He ran the tempted.
If the ball ever falls short of the rim, he'll tip in. He'll tip that shit right in. He's Mr. Mosby. He knows what he's doing. All under control.
Okay, and to recap the draft here, I'll go through my team real quick. At point guard, we have the Little Toaster. Shooting guard, we have Fregley. At small forward, I'm playing Koba. At power forward, I'm playing Osmat Bagatov. And at center, I have Jaws, the shark.
And for my team at point guard, we have Scott Smalls from Sandlot. Shooting guard, we have Jason Bourne. I don't know what movie he's in. Small forward, we got Chaka from Land of the Lost. Power forward, we got Lawrence, who is very good at the piano. And center, we got Uncle Machete.
At point guard, I've got Mr. Mosby. At shooting guard, I've got Rolf. At small forward, I have Fred Fredberger. At power forward, I have Gordon from Dodgeball. And at center, I have Nacho Libre from Nacho Libre.
The best team on the board is my team. Looking at the other teams here on the board, I see Lawrence at the piano. Jaws is going to eat him alive on the court. You have a child who is insecure, and he's going to go up in the paint against Jaws. That's a mismatch. Gordon is only good when he gets mad. Now, getting mad and getting defeated are two different things. Whenever he's down by 50 because Jaws has dropped a 100 piece on him, he's not going to get mad, he's going to quit.
Only my team is just going to get in there and do the work that needs to be done. As far as matchup between these other two teams, I think that Mitchell's team, they're in a lot of TV movies, so I just don't know if they're ready for the big time. I don't know if they're ready to go out there and go up against some of the best teams in the league. They're a little bit more inexperienced. They don't have high as a budget. They're not really getting in there on best facilities. I think Jaws is undoubtedly one of the best players in the league, and I am just really disappointed I did not select him. First overall pick, I didn't get the opportunity to.
One question I have for your team is a machete and a gun allowed on the basketball court? Because your team seems to be very dependent on these third-party tools coming in and influence the game.
That's true.
And I have an answer for that.
Right.
I did my research.
Right.
In the popular film Air Bud, when someone brings up the question, why is there a dog playing basketball?
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Right.
The coach says,
Play the best player.
no, you didn't watch the movie. The coach says, no rule against it. No rule against it, Mr. Ref. So that's where I'm coming from. In the rule book that James Naismith came up with back in the day, there was no rule against having a machete on the court, having a gun on the court. This was all not thought about because nobody thought there's going to be a guy named Jason Bourne and he's going to have a gun and want to play basketball.
There are rules against bringing in weapons into arenas, which is where basketball games are played.
And
Right, Gilbert Arenas, yeah,
And,
I forgot.
and to add on to that, in basketball, there are these things called fouls. And what happens there is when one player's actions influence physically the actions of another player.
Like a knife.
Right? So if you were shooting the ball and I were to hit your arm, that would be a foul. It's up for debate, but in my mind, if you shoot someone or if you hit them with a machete, that might also be considered a foul.
Because of the bullet or the knife.
Because of, the potential life-threatening injury.
Chaka is most similar to what animal?
It's like an ape.
Like a monkey. In Jaws, they're monkeys that get in the water. Now these monkeys, he counts them. They don't get back out of the water in the same number that they got in the water.
Chaka goes toe-to-toe with a T-Rex. A T-Rex!
That's a good point.
A T-Rex is much larger than Jaws, and he's literally nuts.
But by the direction of Dr. Rick Marshall.
I believe that I have the best team. In my mind, you have to have someone that's an experienced athlete on your team, right? You can have all these big names, but if no one's been there before, then what are you going to do, right? You need someone that's been in the big game, right? And for me, that's Gordon. He won on the biggest stage.
The
Big
Volleyball
underdog.
Championships.
Right, big underdog, too. Also, there's been a lot of talk about Jaws. He's a great player, undoubtedly. But how will Jaws perform? Len, I have this question. How will Jaws be able to perform when he is not in the ocean, right? So basketball is played on dry land, no salt water. How will he be able to match up with Nacho Libre when Jaws literally will be dying every second that he's not in the ocean? A few timeouts every 30 seconds, I think it could be a problem.
I was waiting for that question.
Right.
I was waiting for that
Waiting
question.
for it.
Jaws has eaten explosives. He's gotten blown out of the water. He has died in ways unimaginable. What happens? 2 years later, he's back again in another movie. It doesn't matter. If he doesn't have water, he's still going to play basketball. He's the same rough, tough Jaws that murders anything
Okay.
that he wants. Sharks aren't smart. Sharks are not intelligent. Sharks are not investigative. They're murderers. And Jaws is the best one that ever lived. And he doesn't care if he's on water. He's showing up for the basketball game with a killer mentality to take your best player out of the game by eating him.
Okay, we already discussed this.
That might
That
be a
would be a
foul.
foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch made a really good point. That would 100% be a
Okay,
foul.
to be fair, give me this. If machetes and guns are a foul,
Yeah.
then
Jaws-
literally eating your opponents alive as a shark has also got to be a foul.
But he is a
100%.
shark.
Call the game the same way.
Right.
Call
Call
the
the game the same way.
You could chalk it up as a foul, but at the end of the day, you have 4 players now per dead player. It's a foul, but you lost a player, and eventually, I might foul out, but you won't have the players.
I would probably venture to say that after the first murder, Jaws commits, he'd probably be kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's a flagrant.
100%. Flagrant 2, at least. So I think that's instant injection.
But if it was a basketball play,
Eating someone is never a basketball play.
he was
And this-
going for the ball. For instance, Jason Bourne's going for a layup. Jaws bites his head off in an attempt to block the shot. Basketball play. It's a hard foul. It's an 1980s basketball foul, but it's a foul.
Okay, but what I'm going to say is if you block someone so hard that they fucking die, I think it's a foul. We want to know what you all think. Who do you think had the best picks of the draft? Who do you think was the best pick of the draft? This is our 5v5.